Today we're reading Acts 27, verses 27 to 38. But when the 14th night was come, as we were driven up and down in Adria, about midnight, the shipmen deemed that they were near to some country, and sounded, and found it 20 fathoms. And when they had gone a little further, they sounded again, and found it 15 fathoms. Then, fearing lest we should have fallen upon rocks, they cast 4 anchors out of the stern, and wished for the day. And as the shipmen were about to flee out of the ship, when they had let down the boat into the sea, under color as though they would have cast anchors out of the foreship, Paul said to the centurion and to the soldiers, "Except these abide in the ship, ye cannot be saved." Then the soldiers cut off the ropes of the boat and let her fall. And while the day was coming on, Paul besought them all to take meat, saying, "This day is the 14th day that we have tarried and continued fasting, having taken nothing. Wherefore I pray you to take some meat, for this is for your health. For there shall not a hair fall from the head of any of you." And when he had thus spoken, he took bread and gave thanks to God in presence of them all. And when he had broken it, he began to eat. Then were they all of good cheer, and they also took some meat. And we were in all in the ship 260 souls. And when they had eaten enough, they lightened the ship and cast out the wheat into the sea. As the storm finishes a second week, the sailors determine that they are near land. This is both good news and bad news. It's bad because they are afraid they may run aground. But it's good news because if they can see the shoreline, it will help them navigate. They cast out anchors and decide to wait until daylight when they can see what the situation is. But the sailors also know that not everyone can get to shore in the small auxiliary boat they have, so they pretend to need to go during the night and put some anchors, additional anchors, out of the front of the ship using this boat. But their real plan was to abandon the ship and leave everyone else to fend for themselves. Paul realizes what is happening and tells the centurion that God's promise of deliverance from the storm required that everyone stay with the ship. By now, you can see that the centurion, he's beginning to trust Paul because he takes immediate, drastic action. He orders the the soldiers to cut the ropes and let the boat fall into the water. Now no one can leave the boat. I can imagine the sailors may not have been quite too happy to have their plans spoiled. And as the morning nears, Paul addresses the group, reminding them that God will protect them and urging them to eat some food. This is for your health, he tells them, reminding them that they will need strength for the journey ahead. He then gave thanks for the food and began to eat. Luke tells us that this act raised the spirits of everyone there, and they all also ate. We also learn how many people are on this ship. 276 people. That's quite a ship. I think this portion of the story serves as a good illustration between the world and God. The sailors show us how the world will treat us when things get tough. They were ready to abandon everyone to save themselves. The world may treat you fine for a while, but in the end, it really isn't interested in you. But God, He's concerned about you from the very beginning. Through Paul, God offered everyone on board that ship encouragement and hope. Where are you putting your focus at the moment? Have the things of the world consumed your life? You know, it will only leave you feeling empty at the end. Put your focus on Christ. He will never abandon you.